Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Ted, we have an amazing panel today. Looking forward to talking about vehicle reconditioning.
Yeah, and we've got some of the experts here, including Brad Schafer from ReconTRAC. Brad, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thanks for having me.
So we've got a lot of perspectives here. I want to go first to Marco for a technician perspective. Marco, reconditioning has been difficult at many dealerships. From a technician's perspective, what are some of the challenges that are being experienced?
As a technician, I like to know, where is my next car to work on at? That has been a hard thing to do with vehicles in the CPOs or used car inspection that are being reconditioned, because there's so many factors involved in it, like a rim repair, glass repair, paint repair. I do not really know where this car physically is on my lot. I built my day based on my computer screen, like what parts came in, what OKs do I have. So to have a system that will show me where this car is at physically and where it's at in the repair process, because if the rims were just done, I don't want to put tires on brand new rims. Rims that just got painted. So where are we at time-wise? Where are we at physically-wise? And when can I get the car to go home rich and tired from fixing it?
Tully, you want to do that?
Oh, I just love that. Marco's spot on. But here's the thing with that used cars. Used cars brings a dealership together. Used cars drive sales, parts, and hours in the shop. And what it talks about is what causes that cluster is communication. When the car is bought, how fast can we get that into Marcos's hand to do that quality video inspection? How can we get that done fast? And it's usually because of communication. And what this program can help us with is drive that communication so everybody in the dealer knows where that car is. Our goal is to get cars in and out, parts and labor all together within that 1 to 2 day period, right? That's the goal. And you can't get authorizations. You can't get all that stuff without a program to monitor it. It is a huge deal.
Sean Gangry.
You know, the one thing this tool brings, and communication's key. It's all about communication. We talked about it earlier in an earlier panel. It's silos. This tool breaks down the silos. Says, service has had the car for 8 days, or pictures has had it for 4 days. It removes that unknown, and it tells you where your breakdown of communication is.
Brad, over to you.
You know, that's the piece of it. I mean, Marco said it uses the DMS to try to track reconditioning. It's so much more than that, right? You do the mechanical piece, and most dealerships can do that okay. It gets lost beyond that. So, then you're dealing with vendors, you're dealing with every person that touches it, like you said, the accounting, the parts, the body shop, the vendors. It's the one piece of the dealership that gets lost, and people kind of just give up after a while. How many years have you had the problem, right? Since you've been in the industry, since you started, right?
And Brad, you saw this years ago because you are the architect who put all this together with ReconTRAC.
I spent 25 years in retail, and the reason this exists today is because I failed at my job for 25 years, right? I couldn't do it. No matter what I tried to do, there was no solution out there that was automated, that allowed the car to go from stage to stage through seamless communication, because you're trying to connect everybody together. And my solution, other solutions, they just need to be able to connect it all together. And if you don't, you're going to consistently have lost cars. And these things are, holding cost. Where are you at on holding costs? What's a car cost you a day?
It's huge. And what's huge about that part of it is, I take it a step further. We talk about 3 days on the lot. At day 5, we cut the bill in half. And when I say cut the bill in half, I cut the labor, I cut the tech time in half. Right. It's amazing how quick you want to see a car go through the system. Make it hurt in the pocketbook a little bit.
It's funny. You say 3 days, right?
Yes.
There's not a dealer that we've hooked up to yet that said 3 days, and it actually was 3 days.
Right.
It's typically 6, and if you say you're 6, it's typically 12. It's those cars that get lost that if you don't have a tool that tells you which car you need to focus on, mm-hmm. it's a vicious circle of lost revenue from holding costs.
So Marco, let me come over to you. How do we fix I keep hearing the word communication. How do we fix that communication gap at the retail level, from the technician's perspective? And I'll ask everybody on the panel the same question.
I think that just like with anything else we use in the dealership, that if everybody actually does what they're supposed to, like say a multi-point inspection, whether it's DMS, if you just flag your cars appropriately where you're at, real simple, you sit at your computer anyways, point, click, done. No matter what it is, point, click, done. Is the car on hold for parts? Are we waiting for an okay? Is it at the window shop? Is it? If everybody does that, including the technicians, stop being lazy, because at the end, it just comes around and bites you in the butt. That's a given. Every time it happens, it's a boomerang. Stop throwing those boomerangs and just start hitting the right buttons. Everyone in the dealership. That's it.
You know, when you look at the holdup when it comes to the repair side, is everybody says, oh, I got it dialed in. You are exactly right. If you're 2, you're actually 4. If you're 4, you're actually 8. What really bottles down is that, 1, the speed to write up the repair order. Now we're tracking from the date of purchase to the RO written. Next is, how fast can we get that inspection done? And here's the most important piece, authorized by the used car manager or whoever's authorizing it, with pictures and video. Here's the deal. We want to be transparent. Have a way to show the transparency. And then after that, then bang, how fast can we get that car done? And goes off to all the cosmetics that need to be done. The key issue is driving the speed, which helps Marco's rich and tired every day. Rich and tired, my friend.
You know, you said from the RO, right? I'm gonna add another piece of this that we find consistently. We're seeing on average between 1 and 3 days on average that people own the vehicles before that RO is even written. So you need to be tracking every aspect of that car from the time you acquire it to the time that car is on the front line and ready for sale, because you'll pick up just a couple of days if you're looking at that piece alone.
And when you say that, is that what happens to a used car manager? They go out there and look at it and say, look at the car I bought. Oh, it's so pretty. And the next day they look at it again. And then they give it to the service department. Give it to us the day they buy it.
Yep. Sean Gingrey?
You know what? It's the key word that's key to everything in the dealership from all to all. It's accountability. The Recon tools are all about accountability. Everybody has to do their job when it comes from the used car manager to the service manager to the service writer to the technician to the touch-up paint, everything else. You can't miss any steps. And if you hold people accountable, it will work.
The only way you're going to hold them accountable is to track it.
That is correct.
You have to have a tool, whether it's my tool, whether it's in it. You have to track every piece of the puzzle so you know where to focus your time.
That is correct.
Correct.
Sarah, here we are seeing tracking and measurement as another important facet in our dealerships, and I know you're very familiar with that on the retail side as well.
You know, data is so important, and the processes that go into the data are so important. And this is a really great solution to help you figure out where some of those holes can develop in the process and how to go about fixing them when you do have things that you need to address.
And Brad, I'll give you the last word on this. We've seen in the last 18 months to 24 months such an importance on those used vehicles as the market continues to fluctuate. Is reconditioning going to remain at the forefront, at the top? Because there's such a focus on it right now that I've never seen before.
You know, there's I don't have a crystal ball, but it's always been important since the Model T, right? I mean, it's been a consistent process, consistent problem. I think the focus that you're seeing now is there's analytics to show you why it's so important. Before it was this, this made up number, right. And now you're able to put tools in place that can show you exactly the profit that you're losing each and every day from the holding cost and the loss of production. And so, to fix it, you got to first and foremost decide you have a problem. And that's what people don't do today. They think they have a problem. You have to decide you have a problem. You have to put a stake in the ground and say, today is the day we're going to make an effort. And the accountability piece comes in after that. And then it's just leadership, right? I mean, technology doesn't fix anything. It's good leadership. And this tool or any tool that you back and support and implement and then monitor makes a big change.
Sure does.
Everybody, Brad Schafer from ReconTRAC here with us today at the pop-up at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Don't go away. We have a lot more ahead at the event.